We've got some breaking news out of the NBA where Jalen Williams and the Thunder have agreed to a 5-year rookie max extension, which can reach a maximum value of $287 million. That is according to ESPN. So the deal will reach its max value if Williams is named to an All-NBA or defensive team, wins MVP, or wins Defensive Player of the Year. Williams was named to his first All-NBA team last season and, of course, helped lead the Thunder to their first title since moving to OKC. He averaged a career-high 21.5 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists per game. The Thunder have now committed $822 million to their core three over the past week and a half, and that includes, of course, the MVP, SGA, Chet Holmgren, and now Jalen Williams. Let's welcome in our coach, Avery Johnson, and Ashley Nicole Moss, our analyst, here to discuss. Guys, it's kind of interesting after becoming just the second youngest team to win an NBA title. Now this core is locked up together. When you think of SGA, Chet, and now Jalen Williams, a whole lot of money that OKC is putting out there. Avery, I'll come to you first here. How long is this championship window, and how dangerous is this OKC team? Because it feels like they're not going anywhere with these 3 core guys.
Smart by Sam Presti and the OKC ownership to get these 3 guys locked up. These talented 3 players that are still very young in their careers, they don't come along very often. You think about when the Bulls went on their run. We all talk about Michael and Scottie, but, you know, it was Michael and Scottie and Dennis Rodman. And then doing another one of their runs, it was Michael, Scottie, and, you know, Ron Harper and you know, one of the Grant brothers. But if you look at the Spurs, Manu, Tim, and Tony Parker. When you have these types of talent, it's good to keep them together. You remember it was Shaq, Kobe, and then you could throw in the mix Big Shot Robert Horry. You get these guys locked up. You do not let them get away. These contracts will kick in 2 more years, so they're still under their old contracts for the next 2 years, where they won't be handcuffed from signing other players. And then 3 years down the road, some of those guys like Alex Caruso is probably not going to be on the team. They'll plug and play with some other guys. But this is smart business by OKC, and it puts any doubt, it removes any doubt from these guys' minds and their families that they're not wanted. They're definitely wanted. They're giving them massive amounts of money and attention, and they're proving to their fan base, you can continue to support this OKC championship run, because those 3 key players are going to be in uniform for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and I mean, to get this done before the NBA rights change the amount of money that these guys are going to start getting paid is very smart by Sam Presti as well. And for the foreseeable future, with all 3 contracts now, let me make sure I get this number exact, $822 million between the 3 of those guys. But Coach hit it right on the head. When you have a roster, a trio, this talented, this young, with so much potential, you do everything you can to lock them up. I mean, we're talking about a young Oklahoma City Thunder team where the pieces around them might change, but when you have the ability to harness a trio like this, because to Coach's point, they don't come around often, and now we're seeing so much parity in the NBA that guys are moving around, and it's very rare to stay with one team for an extended period of time. You do everything in your power to make sure that you are on the winning end of that conversation and not the losing end, and there's so much upside to this Oklahoma City team. You have them now as champions. They have multiple playoff experiences under their belt. It's only going to make them better as contenders, as individual athletes, but more importantly, as a trio.
Sam Presti was there when they had their original big 3, when they had, you know, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden. Avery, you think that maybe he learned from potentially a mistake of not locking up those 3 guys some 14, 15 years ago?
Yes, some of the greatest opportunities to construct a deal like this is to go back in time and learn from maybe some of the things you wish you had a mulligan on. I know I wish I had mulligans on the golf course, and there's not enough of them for me. But this gives Sam Presti, it was a reflective point, because you didn't pay James Harden. He wanted the max dollars, And when you didn't pay him, and the timing of when he wanted to get paid rubbed him the wrong way because they were stalling at that time. You can see now, Sam Presti, the urgency to get all of these guys signed within a week or 2 week period to remove any and all doubt. I'm sure, Chris, that he learned from that Harden, Westbrook, and Kevin Durant situation.
Yeah, and I think also the biggest difference here is that when you talk about the trio of Harden, Westbrook, and Durant, they didn't win. And that's a big chunk of the piece of the puzzle here, rather. You know, when you talk about this specific trio, this Oklahoma City Thunder trio, they won the championship. So you know that they can do it again and hopefully will do it again. I think when you talk about the trio of the past, the thing that may have prevented the front office from keeping those guys together was the fact that they've gotten close several times, but they never were actually able to seal the deal. And is it that you would potentially never get to that position? Was there not belief in that trio as every single time they were close but not close enough? So that's the biggest thing. When you win, it changes the conversation, and we know that across any sport, winning changes the conversation, whether it's about a particular athlete, a particular team, a particular coach, and that's the biggest difference with this Oklahoma City Thunder team, especially the fact that they were able to do it in an NBA discourse that believes that young teams can't win. That was always the knock to this Thunder team, was that super talented, but they're so young, so inexperienced. Can they actually win a championship? They knocked those narratives down, so you would be insane to not lock the trio up to try to do it again.
Ashley,
and also, you got to remember, this is in a small market. So the idea that, you know, you can only pay players if they're with the Los Angeles Lakers or the Boston Celtics. No, the Thunder's removing all doubt about how a small market can really be invested into three superstars. So this is going to send messages to free agents. You know, maybe if they're a mid-level guy, or even if you're in a situation and you can go and sign a minimum with OKC, because you're going to be playing with three terrific guys. You're going to be well coached. You know that OKC is going to spend the money. They have an unbelievable practice facility. So the misnomer of a small market not being open for business to spend a combined, you know, close to $800 million in extensions on three different players, that's going away.
Already have one title and pretty heavy favorites to win next year's title as well. They are plus 260. The next best is plus 750. So right now, the Thunder, the team to beat, might be the team to beat for quite some time in the NBA with their core three locked up now. Jalen Williams is the latest to get a deal following SGA and Chet Holmgren. Williams had that playoff career-high 40 points in that pivotal Game 5 win in the finals against the Pacers.